Hello, everybody. Ciao, guys. The 24th episode of the MILAN-Guys podcast. Another podcast in good spirits, I'd say. I'm here with a couple of TMG guys. How's it going, guys?
What's going on?
Great to be here.
I mean, honestly, it's not in good spirits, I'd say. Oh my god, I hate that. Every single time I start the broadcast, you can hear my voice at the first time because the link's open. Okay, so let's get right into it, guys. Let's not waste time. Yesterday was a historic. Like you will never see that again. I don't think you'll ever see 4 goals scored in 18 minutes like that again in a match. That was crazy. Like I woke up today and it still didn't even make sense to me. Like I think I rewatched the highlights like 10 times. Like it's crazy. It's nuts. Like so that game itself, when we went down 2-0, so Rabiot scored a wonder goal. I'm not even sure if he even scored that when he was a kid. I was like, I'll never do that again. Which is kind of embarrassing. Like I kind of hated that he was able to walk around. But you know what? If I'm gonna get scored on, I'd rather it be a nice goal like that. You know, like deserve the goal. Okay, nice shot. The second goal was just flat out embarrassing. Ronaldo's goal that I think Kier shouldn't have jumped. I think they both jumped for the same ball, and Kier pushed Romagnoli a little bit because they didn't talk, and that was embarrassing. Ronaldo actually mishit that ball. I'm not sure how Donnarumma didn't save that.
We got a hand to it, but
yeah. But after that, we got the penalty. It went off Rebic's chest and hit Bonucci's arm. Screw you, Leo. and yeah, so basically we got the penalty. Ibra scores, laughs in Ronaldo's face. Kind of funny. And then we literally, like, on the turn, Kessie, we come down, Leao to Hakan, to Ibra, to Kessie.
that goal was beautiful. I've never seen Milan play like that little tiki-tac type of thing in the final third. That's one of the most beautiful goals we scored in a while.
That was beautiful. And Kessie sent Bonucci back to Bari, I think.
Yeah, like what was Bonucci doing? Like his back on the other side of Kessie. Like he was not even trying to get the ball.
I know we have on Twitter, Hamdan, he tweeted us saying, please talk about Bonucci. So if you're listening, Hamdan, Bonucci, he got sent back to who knows where.
He's still trying to change the equilibrium.
Yeah, there's a picture of him, like Kessie's literally about to shoot, and Bonucci's still like looking, like not even at him, like he doesn't even know where he is. So you gotta love that. You gotta love how Bonucci conceded the penalty too. That you gotta love it. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it.
And then the fact Bonucci was complaining over
penalty. Of course he was.
Obviously, like that guy's going to complain because he's a snake. But honestly, like it hit his hand, so he has nothing to say.
No, it was a penalty. The problem is that we usually don't get.
We don't get calls like that. Remember that handball with Alexandro? Like,
don't get me started. But so like without VAR, we don't get that call. Rebic actually got the yellow card. So, we got the penalty. Ibra scores. A good penalty too. And
the fact is, what was happening during that penalty? Ronaldo goes to, my mind's going blank right now. What the hell? Remind me, because my mind's blank right now. The goalie for Szczesny. Sorry. So yeah, he was going to Szczesny. You know where he's going. You know him well. And Ronaldo just like brushed that off, took the penalty, sent him the other way. And he smiled at Ronaldo. So
yeah, he did.
And I think that was the biggest turning point.
Yeah. So we got a comment from Shuffley. I'll show it here on the thing. So you guys see it? You guys see the comment on the screen here?
Yeah.
So it said that Lazio shouldn't have lost to Lecce. It's true, man. Honestly, we've played a really big factor in the title race in 5 days. I don't understand how Lazio choked. I watched the match. I don't know how they choked against Lecce. If they would have won, it would have been 4 points. It would have been 4 points. Yeah, it would have been 4 points again. It would have been wide open. But now it's difficult. I mean, Juve could drop points to Atalanta on the weekend. Being honest. So, yeah. And Coach Hamdan, he's obviously listening. And look at this comment. Ready, boys?
Speaking straight facts.
100% true.
No, it's true, man. I can't stand Bonucci. Honestly, that guy's messed up in the head or something. I don't know what's wrong with that guy.
You know, me and my friends were talking about yesterday. You notice that anytime everyone joins Juve, their nose it suddenly gets bigger, like a la Pinocchio.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, of course, because they're cheaters. What do you want me to do? But honestly, I don't really have any complaints about how the match was officiated last night. Going to be honest, and it just kind of shows you if with fair officiating, we beat them. Because even like you look at the match, the Coppa Italia, whatever, and all the referee decisions that changed the match, like we played well enough to like the first half was kind of dull. Like the first 20 minutes we were good.
Everyone was kind of feeling each other out.
Yeah, like we were okay for the we were okay for the first 20 minutes, and the last 15, 20 minutes you were a bit better. The second half, obviously, those two goals kind of just came out of nowhere, and whatever. And then we just we didn't really give up. Like we've seen a lot of times, and honestly, like I've watched this team for a long time, and you guys have too. When we go down 1 or 2, it's like okay, like game over, we're done. We're gonna fold like a cheap lawn chair, right? So it's nice to see that we showed a lot of resilience. And again, you will not see a comeback like that in a long time in the sport. 4 goals in 18 minutes. It's unheard of, right?
What was more impressive for me was, all right, Leao scored a great goal, and I was happy that the ref played on, because if he said that was a foul, we would not get that third goal. So he played on, we got that beautiful goal. And then the fact is, we were already up 3-2. We did not stop
going.
So we tried to get a fourth, which we did. Which I think that was a major turning point, because I think that was like a stab in the back to Juve right there.
Yeah,
getting that fourth. But
it's a good point you bring up, because I even tweeted about it recently on TMG account, and it's just more like our issue has always been like when we get a lead, we kind of just like, oh, okay, like it's enough, like we're fine. When it's not, it never is. And like in the last couple of games, you've seen us like not taking our foot off the gas. Like it's constantly just pushing it down their throats, which is what we've been screaming for years, because even a 2-goal lead is not safe for us. Sometimes even 3 cannot be safe. So the fact of the matter is the fact that they're understanding, we just beat the friggin' first and second place teams in the league right now, and in a very convincing fashion as well. Not only to stomp Lazio 3-0 at home, away, and Juve being down 2-0. It's these are the type of things where you start seeing maybe there's a turning point, or things are building blocks. You could say that, hey, you know what? When you have a lead, you don't need to be fearful. Like, yeah, you're up 1-0. Cool. Let's make it 2. Let's make it 3. And kill off your opponent. And I think that's also thanks to Zlatan as well. His mindset and his effect.
Right? It's a mentality thing and a killer instinct.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, if you look at like Milan's issues, I think that I've always kind of said, like, we have too many average players, right? Like we have a couple of high quality players.
But this is the problem too. Yeah, like the average.
Other than us, there's more high quality players. Like that's really, and that, so like we could play a great match, and you've seen it. How many times we played a great match and we didn't get the result we wanted? Like we played great, we dominated, we got scoring, we couldn't score.
Against Juve, like we played great, but the problem is if we can play like that all the time, we would be probably fighting for the Scudetto.
Yeah, but it doesn't have. The problem is a slip. It's not the. I always say it's not the matches you lose against Lazio. It's the matches you drop points against SPAL that takes you.
Exactly. You need to beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and then you can focus on the big. You can. That's literally Milan in the last 5-6 years. They'll always play great against like Juve, because they're like a big team, but then they'll play a lower end team and they'll fluff points. And we're in a position where if we want to get back to the top, we have to make sure we dominate and secure the points against those little teams.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we can play our cards against the big teams. But we can't have this great display against Lazio and Juve and then barely scrape out a tie against SPAL. Like it can't. Like obviously, if you tell me, you're gonna tie to SPAL, but you're gonna beat Lazio and Juve, of course I'm gonna take it. But at the same time, the fact of the matter is you should be securing all 3 points against SPAL and then try for Lazio and Juve as well. And that's kind of why at the end of the year, when we look at the table and we're like, damn, we're like 7 points off a Champions League spot, you could think of so many dropped points. like 2 or 3 ties that were easily winnable. Those are your 7 points right there.
Yeah, but that's like you said, Mike. SPAL is like a great example. We should have won that game. I honestly think those 2 points are going to hurt us in the end. I hope I'm wrong, but those are the games that we have to win. With going back to the SPAL game a bit, those 2 goals came out of nowhere. Those surprised us. I think Gabia screwed up a lot that game.
Yeah.
With Kier in that game, I think we could have even won that game. But in the circumstances, I think we came back like we were just dominant, 40 shots on net the entire game, which was phenomenal. But at the same time, you got to score goals. If you're shooting 40 times, you got to score at least more than 2 goals. So
yeah. I hate comparing it to FIFA because obviously, real life football ain't close to FIFA, but like it felt like a FIFA game. Like you absolutely dominate, and then like you end up not getting the result. Like it literally felt like I was watching like a bloody video game. But and those are the games that hurt, right? Because you dominate and you're supposed to win, and you give up 2 stupid goals like that, and we scored our own goals because Leao's, if I'm not mistaken, was a complete deflection, and then Salamakers whips in a random cross and he gets own goal. So if anything, we almost had no business tying that game, but still enough, we played well enough to put ourselves in that position. So yeah.
Yeah, so I think we were lucky that game. I think we just got to move on from SPAL. And I think they had the right mentality because, all right, you tie 2-2, you go and face Lazio next, and they come out phenomenal. Chanologo got that deflection goal, and listen, I'll take it, no problem. It was a nice goal. But then just the way we played against Lazio, I was amazed. Defensively, we were solid. And I really think if Immobile and Caicedo, maybe the game could have been different. But listen, it's soccer, so those guys weren't there because they got suspended, and I'll take it. But we were in control throughout the entire game.
Even the zone commentators where I listen to it, I don't really agree with half the time the viewpoints that pundits and commentators make live. But he had a really good point saying that, of course, Immobile and Caicedo being out definitely hurts Lazio, but at the same time, like their midfield was there and so was their defense. No one was suspended. They were at complete strength. So yeah, you know what? Okay, Immobile wasn't there to help you score the goal, same with Caicedo, but they had no excuse defensively and in the midfield. And that just goes to show how well of a game Milan played because they absolutely embarrassed them. Like the Lazio did not look like a second place team that's been doing well all year.
Oh no.
And that's credit to us because we literally broke them down. They literally look like a mid-table team throughout that entire game. Like it was easy for us. Like we just did what we wanted to.
Mike, you can probably agree too. When we face Lazio, you see how Kessie just shows up. He takes Savic and he just like makes him disappear.
He does it every time. Milinkovic-Savic struggles a lot with Kessie.
Lucas Leiva as well, pocket. I think he touched the ball 4 times that entire game.
Honestly, no, but I think Kessie's been our best player since the break. I'm going to be honest, since the restart.
Yeah, Kessie, they're in the middle, that duo, I have to say.
I love it. I'm actually in love with that double pivot.
Yeah.
I'm actually in love with it. Like, it's fantastic.
I've always been hesitant about Kessie. I'll be completely honest. I have no problem admitting, and I think a lot of fans can agree with that as well. I hate when he has his rash decisions, like in the last third.
He's not good in front of goal. He's not good in front of goal.
He'll just take a shot, even though he can't shoot, or he'll make some dumb pass backwards, and then we concede a counterattack. But I have to say, since the restart and stuff, he's been very impressive. I hope he keeps this run of form for a while, and he's slowly getting into the team and maturing and getting chemistry with Ben Esser, and hopefully this is a positive to come. Definitely, he's earning his stripes. Like I wouldn't say he's fully there, but of course, I'm not going to hate on the guy. He's doing really well, so hopefully he keeps it up.
So then, all right, do you think it's going to continue that pivot with Ben Esser, or it's going to change in the future?
Do you mean in terms of who we purchase, or do you think his form?
Just for the rest of the season, it's going to stay like that. That's what I'm thinking.
I think because he's getting comfortable, I think he's going to do well. Obviously, I'm not going to be surprised if he messes up here and there, or he slips up here and there. I mean, it's only normal. Like he's been super about Kessie. Like he's been super inconsistent, right? But he's still slowly starting to gain a bit of consistency. But hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
The issue is he's an engine. Like he's so like even like okay, I don't trust him in front of goal. Obviously, I don't like when he's near the box because he usually messes up. But aside from that, like he's pretty good defensively. Like he can run with anybody, and he usually doesn't get beat because he's quick enough. You know what I mean? He's so strong.
Yeah.
Too. Like he actually looks like what he was at Atalanta for a bit. Like him in a double pivot is very good. Like we've mostly seen him as a mezzala in the 4-3-3, right? That's what
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. So he's been very good with Benacer. And Benacer, man, like I said a couple days or last week, I said he's on his way like to being like a world class talent. Like the way he controlled, like there's a video of him how he took there was two guys, the ball was in the air and he took it down like so gracefully, and he just calm, cool, collective. Like he looked way better than like Pjanic, for example. And Pjanic apparently is worth 80 million at 30 years old. So
when I look at Benacer and Kessie, and I'm just going to preface this, in no means the two players I'm going to compare it to. In no means do I mean they're any close to their level. I'm just going to put that out there before I get into it. But the flashes that I get of like Kessie being again, he's not on the same level, but of the Gattuso type, who's the enforcer. Yeah. He'll do the dirty work. He'll be physical on the ball. He'll make the smart pass here and there, and he'll do that type of work. Whereas Benacer is more like a la Pirlo type. Again, nowhere near his talent, but the ball goes through him in the midfield. He's the one controlling. You remember, obviously, both you guys watching Milan back in the day.
Yeah.
The center backs would pass Pirlo the ball. Pirlo would circle around and just wait, and he was so good at it.
A line.
And Benacer kind of has that type of thing where he has the ball, he's in control, he starts everything.
Yeah.
So that's kind of and if that's been really working, the 4-2-3-1 formation has been really working as well, because it's very adaptive towards our type of team, because we have Paquetá and Çalhanoğlu who could play the cam position, but you can also throw Hakan on the left, but we also have Rebic who could play on the left and then go play striker if he's not there. And then you have Leao who could play on the left, but you could play him as striker. And then on the right side, you have Castillejo and Salamakers is there as well. So it's been very versatile for our team.
Exactly.
Credit to Pioli as well.
No, for sure. See, that's what I want. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The whole Pioli situation, because there's a lot of crap going around. Honestly, so we've ever since the restart, so after Lecce, it's been Roma, SPAL, Juve, Lazio, Juve, with Napoli next Sunday or on Sunday.
Yeah,
Sunday. Essentially, last podcast we said, okay, I don't know if you remember, we made predictions.
I remember them. Yeah. I believe you're talking about the prediction for the SPAL game, or just how many points we're going to get.
I remember dropping a prediction for the Lazio game. How many? I remember I said 2-1.
I said 2-0. But I think I said 2-0 for the SPAL game. But I think we agreed on we would get 9 points out of, I think it was Roma, SPAL, Lazio, Juve, and Napoli. And as of now,
we've gotten 10, but minus Napoli so far.
Yeah. You got 3 wins and a draw. So that's obviously you look at the SPAL draw, right? That's a bad draw. But I said this too, glass half full. We weren't really we weren't expected to beat Lazio or Juve. So if we would have drew Lazio and beat SPAL, we'd be at the same point. You know what I mean? We'd be at the same point on the table. You know what I mean? It's just it's hard to obviously look back on it, but to be positive, okay, we drew SPAL, but we made up for it with a win at Lazio, and we even made up for even more with a win against Juve. And now it's so if we would have beat SPAL 2-1, then would have drew Lazio 1-1, we would still be happy. No, we'd say, okay, that's a good result against Lazio, 1-1, whatever, they're a good team.
Yeah, it's just the issue we have is it should have been 3 straight.
You're right.
Right? Because no matter what you turn, the points are the same. The fact of the matter is, incredible that we beat Lazio and Juve, but you should have beat SPAL.
Against SPAL, that was so weird. I hate those matches, man, when the small team gets a FIFA
because
goal.
They're not small teams in Serie A. They always have something to fight for. That's why, when
I know
Serie A, it's you can't underestimate those little teams.
No, but SPAL is almost surely to get relegated. You know what I mean? But they didn't do anything to win the match. The first goal, I hit 6 guys, bounced around 6 guys. It was like a FIFA goal. It was literally a FIFA.
I think also what gets me upset was that we were up a guy majority of the game.
Yeah, I know.
And
we just couldn't score. We literally couldn't score. Not score.
And that was the issue. Yeah, like Mike was saying, it's like a FIFA match.
I mean, we did score in the first half, but it got taken away because Rebic was a bit off. That was actually a really nice goal too.
Yeah. But I have a question for you guys. All right. We have many options as a trequartista. Who do you guys choose? Would you have Paquetá, Chanalogu, even Jack?
I mean, you guys might disagree, but the game changed when Hakan came on yesterday.
He did. That's why I'm agreeing with you, because Paquetá, he has been improving, and even from last game against Lazio, he was good. But I think Chanalogu is needed, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the guy. But I think we needed him yesterday. He came in, made a big difference.
Yeah,
Paquetá, with his passing, his judgment, he needs to work on that. But I think as a trequartista, Chanalogu is great.
I like you said, like I'm not the biggest fan of him. Like I've grown to like him a bit more over time, like especially after the restart, he's been better. I would definitely put him as a trequartista just because I feel like it's too much pressure for Paquetá to start the game. So if Çalhanoğlu's not playing well at the trequartista role and in the 60th minute it's not working, then you sub in Paquetá, give him that confidence boost. Like, okay, you know what, you come in, play trequartista and change the game around. Yeah, and that's why I would even though also as well, depending on how the game goes, even though I know Bonaventura's been getting to his between injuries, he's getting older, his contract's expiring. The thing is though, I think it's eventually time to move on, but the thing about him is he's been Milan's literally best player or midfielder, wherever you want to put it, arguably in the last few years. And also at the same time, like he's one of those guys where he's not trying to do too much. He knows exactly what he's good at and what he's not at. And as you see him through the game, like it pissed me off against the in the SPAL game where he doesn't whip in the ball in the 96th minute, whatever. Like that pissed me off. But like at the end of the day, like he still has that great assist to Rebic and he has a little control play here and there. So if there was some way we would keep Bonaventura on a really low contract and he'd be like a role player off the bench, I would have no problem with that. But yeah, definitely.
It'd be nice. Honestly, I do, and I would like Bonaventura as a role player, but it just depends. Like again, I've said it last podcast. I feel like he'd do great in like a Torino or a Lazio, or I feel like he'd be a good player there. Like he's obviously not as good, like his injuries, stuff like that, but he has 2 assists in his last 2 games. Came off the bench, provided 2 assists, both to Rebic. So
I just think it's good to have options, especially if we're going to end up in a Europa League spot now, right? And the thing is, you next year obviously it's going to go back to normal where you're not playing every 3 days, but at the same time you may play a Saturday, Sunday, then you're going to play Thursday. So to have a guy like Bonaventura off the bench, if Hakan's hurt or has to start, it's good to have someone who's an older, experienced individual who could come in and there's some security with him coming in. Not it's some young guy or someone you don't know. He's been around. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So like, and that's kind of going to be a hard decision. I mean, anything's possible. I mean, it also depends on like what he wants wages wise, right? When we're willing to give up thing. But
when I'm also thinking now, because even Zlatan said yesterday that he's not fit to play a full 90 minutes. Against Lazio, I think he played 35 minutes, and then yesterday he played about 60.
Yeah.
So he even said like he's trying to get back into it more and more because he wants to play the rest of the season. He wants to make.
Of course.
He better play the rest. If he's leaving after, he better play the rest of the match.
Yeah. So I think what they might do is keep Zlatan starting, playing whatever, like 45, 60, 70 minutes, and then take him off, but then put Rebic up top again. And
we'll play on the left.
Depends on how the match is going too, like what the score.
Of course, yeah.
Like if we're down 1-0, like I wouldn't take Zlatan off. Like especially if we're like controlling the game, he's not running that much. You know what I mean? Like if he's just kind of target man in the middle. Because realistically, like I feel like he doesn't like run that much anymore. He's like kind of like a playmaker, right? Like he's kind of like
he kind of reminds me of Totti at the end of his career. Like he would kind of play as a trequartista type of thing, where like I'm not going to run as much, but I'll stand there and whipping balls and be creative for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. And he's good. He touches like his touch is good, right? Like he has like a one touch that could split open the defense. After his interview yesterday, I'm not sure. Like I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to happen with him and if he's in a I don't know. Like is he going to retire?
Like saying that he feels bad that if this is his last season, he wish the fans can watch him.
Yeah.
But after hearing that, I'm like, I have a feeling he's gonna leave, which is kind of really sad because
where's he gonna go though? Like, where's he gonna go? I
feel like he'll go play in Sweden, but for me, it's more like I don't know. I don't want to think about it because I don't think anyone has a concrete answer. I don't even think he knows yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of question marks like right now, especially with COVID still out there. So we don't know what's going to happen for next season. I think my dream was when he first came, and I thought he was going to retire with us. I think Milan, like San Siro, was going to have a big ceremony for him. And he just retires like that, which would have been beautiful. But now with the circumstances how they are, I don't know what's going to happen. But I think, listen, he should stay another year because I think with the new project, we already have Ranić, who decided that he's.
I don't know. You know what? Yeah, we'll get into that now. You know what? Let's get into that because for those of you listening, just if you put in the comments here in the live chat, like, what are you guys thinking about the whole Pioli situation and Ranić and like Pioli is the ultimate professional. Like the fact that
100%, man,
he's had this friggin' in his ear since like January, and he still put his head down. He has Milan playing probably the best football, like to the eye that we've seen in a long time. We play good football. Like it's sometimes like tiki taka. Like some of our plays, like our triangles stuff, it's beautiful.
I'll say this about the situation, and for me, like maybe I'll repeat myself or like kind of sound like contradicting, but I feel like that's just the situation. Like, and like you said, I'll keep it short as possible, but like you said, Pioli's like the ultimate professional. Came in, and I remember like a lot of Milan fans, we weren't mad that it was Pioli. It was we were more annoyed that like Gianpaolo right away had to get fired. Like the season was like distraught already from the start, and Spalletti was up, and Spalletti was.
It was because Spalletti. Everybody wanted Spalletti.
Yeah, and listen, I'll be honest. I wasn't that happy that Pioli got chosen. I'm like, okay, I literally said like I'm done. Like I'll watch, but like I have no expectations, whatever. And the thing is, all credit due to him. He took his job super seriously, super professionally. It was obviously swanky at the beginning, but the thing is, I'll wrap it up with, of course, Italian media drops the whole Ranić news literally just before the Juve game because of course they're gonna do that to try.
Like, I feel
and
like
it's big karma to them too because we ended up slapping Juve, so that was literally perfect.
It's so intertwined. It's like Juve tell them to do it. Like it's just.
Of course, we know how the backstory works. It's all mental edge.
I feel like Di Marzio is a puppet for Agnelli. Like I feel like it's just. Or maybe I don't know.
Well, he's probably got a few 458s in his driveway, but nonetheless, the fact of the matter is, in a perfect world, honestly, I would say Pioli stays as coach, and then Ranić comes in and he becomes technical director, sporting director, whatever the hell he's in control of who's to buy and whatnot. Yeah. And then let's say next year going forward with the budget and players bought and Pioli, say this magic wears off, and then Ranić can come in and be like, okay, I'm already here, I'm gonna become the coach type of thing.
Like I don't know.
Give Pioli the next season to start, and then if it goes sour at the beginning, then Ranić can be like, okay, I'm not only technical director and such, but I'm also gonna become the coach. And
Like I agree with that. Like it's tough because, like if Pioli's, he's gotten good results. So you look at the results, and I think we've gotten more points than Inter since his hiring, and we've gotten. I think we're like maybe like fourth in points, maybe third or fourth in points since then. Because like realistically, look at the table, right? I think we're like 13 points about the Atalanta or 14 or something like that. A lot of those points were dropped in the first 7 games of the season, first 7-8 games of the season. We lost.
It was terrible.
We lost Torino. We lost to Fiorentina. We lost to Udinese. That's 9 points. Oh my God. Let me think. It seems like years ago. You know what I mean? Honestly, almost like the Udinese game we played in last August. It almost was a year ago.
Yeah, it feels so long ago.
We dropped points to. Let me look. I'm looking here now.
But like, I think I just want to answer one.
The derby, we lost Udinese. We drew Lecce when Pioli came in at home. That was when Lecce scored like the 95th minute scorcher. Lost to Roma 2-1. Remember we lost to Lazio and Roma in the same fashion, 1-1. We scored a late goal. Yeah. It's kind of, and then the Atalanta game was whatever. But like literally after that Atalanta game, draw, win, draw. Lost to Inter, which was awful, but we could have won that. Win, draw. That loss to Genoa pisses me off when the no fans before the break.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Win, draw, win. So it's like man, those points dropped against like Udinese and Fiorentina, Torino. It's 9 extra points, and if you have those points right now, we're right in the race for top 4. Like it's like, oh, like Milan have an awful season, but look where we are. We're ahead of Roma and Napoli. Like we've had the same season as them, and they've had obviously they haven't had great seasons, but you look at Milan's season now, and Pioli has totally turned it around. It's true, and it has to be. But my thing is that so he gets good results. You know, the next 6-7 matches gets pretty good results. Like, you know, we got Napoli, we have Parma, we have Bologna, Sassuolo, Atalanta, Cagliari. Those are our last games. So that's 21 points available.
We end in 5th place. What do you think?
Yeah, like say we get fifth or 6th place. Okay, 5th or 6th. That like you look at that and say, okay, like that, those are good results. Like he did a good job. Because there's no way, like it's hard to catch at Atalanta now, even Inter.
Yeah.
I think the top 4 is already
it's locked.
Yeah, but I think all right, Luca, finish your point, and I'm gonna just mention.
Yeah. So there's 21 points available, and like Bologna and Parma at home, like those games for me are like must wins. Like you have to win those games for me. And even against Sampdoria, like they're really bad this year. You have to beat those teams. Obviously, the games against like Atalanta, Sassuolo, Cagliari, those would be more tricky. Those are like more tricky games in my eyes. But if you can get like 15 out of 21 points or 16 out of 21 points, like that's a very big success. And I think that they shouldn't make any decisions on coach. Like maybe sure bring Rangnick as a director or whatever. But can you really disrespect Pioli like that? I mean, realistically, Pioli will get another job right away. After this, 100%. He'll get the job anywhere, anywhere he wants. Like Fiorentina, they said that De Rossi's gonna be manager, but apparently the local community said not yet. Like I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I feel like there's a lot of teams that Pioli could go to easily. But I don't know. Oh, here we go.
Marco, what were you thinking?
Well, I was gonna say, like, we've seen this many times, guys, where all right, we get a new coach, there's a new revolution gonna happen. And right now everything's going great. And my worst fear is that we get rid of Pioli, Rangnick comes in, and it doesn't work out. But like we lost something good that was like the potential was there. And that's my worst fear. Even though I'm still hopeful with Rangnick and I feel like he can do a great job, but I'm like, a part of me is like, why get rid of something that's going great and just go on with a new revolution? And I'm also thinking that you guys probably agree too. Maldini has been doing a great job. You see the players that he has brought in, Leao, Rebic, Kier, Theo. All these guys. They made a whole big change to Milan. And we see that, and to get rid of Maldini, which I think he has done a great job. I think that's.
I don't know. I think he might. There's a chance he accepts this. Like if he apparently because he just wants him to be in the technical part still. So
I just read that Maldini. I think he's going to wait till the end of the season, but he decided no.
Nah, I don't know. I don't believe anything.
I don't think anyone knows.
Because realistically, tell me that
rumors.
Does the Gazzetta know what Maldini's thinking in his head? Who does he tell? I want to know.
Tutto Sport, Gazzetta.
How does Tutto Sport know what Maldini's thinking? Like, what do they say? Yeah, he's gonna say, like
they went inside his house and they spoke to him.
What do they do? They put a chip in his house and
they plugged his car. Yeah.
Oh my God, Mogi hits out the critics after Juventus 4-2 defeat. Show me the table. You're a cheater.
Hey Luca, just pull up Shuffley's point. Comment, because this is what I wanted to. It's funny because I had a similar opinion to him. That's what I was going to continue on about the topic.
I'll go through the comments here. So Farid first said like he recommends Pioli and he wants like the German Rangnick as a director. And if Pioli will accept it, and that's a good. I mean, I feel like Pioli. He said he loved the squad. I feel like he would accept that, Farid. So that's a good comment. Now we'll go into Shuffley. Pioli was good at Lazio, absolutely, very good at Lazio. They were in the Champions League, no? And they get top 3.
I think so.
And then he was decent. Yeah, like he was decent into that. They had a shit team too. As I really want to clear up the mess, Gianpaolo. I love that guy, but also Rangnick is too good to pass. Okay, so
this is what I wanted to say, and here's the thing. I think it's a double-edged sword, and that's what the issue is right now, because we're so scared of messing up, right? Because we have momentum now. Like, it's been way better than it has been the last few years, and we don't want to mess it up. The thing where I agree with Shuffley here is the issue at hand is, okay, let's say, you know what, Pioli, you deserve it. You're gonna stay, right? Pioli stays. Whatever. If Radnick doesn't come, he goes somewhere else.
Yeah.
Pioli starts the season, and it goes the same way as Gianpaolo did last year. Like, the first 7-8 games go horrible. We're in the same spot as we were last year. Now, and at the same time, like, that's why I also want to get Radnick, because, what if he comes in and, as a team, it would suck, because like all the guys seem to love Pioli right now. So if they would probably be like, why the hell are you firing him for? Like,
exactly.
Like him. Exactly. And to build trust with the new coach, and let's say they don't like his ideas, it could go really bad. Really quick.
But it sounds familiar. No, what about last season? That sounds exactly what happened last season.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I get it. Radnick has a great resume, and that's why I was saying I think the happy medium here is to bring him in as a technical director, let Pioli coach, and the next year, if the season starts and Pioli doesn't do a good result, then Radnick's already over the team. He's already in charge of the purchases. He already knows the team, and he can just jump right in.
Well, what I was thinking, Mike, I like your point, and I can see that. Like, I would love to see that. But also I was thinking, if Pioli, I don't think he will, but if he becomes assistant coach and then Radnick is the coach and director, what do you guys think?
I mean, I would love it. I don't know if Pioli's going to accept it. I would love for him to. I feel like if he was more like a Milan player legend type, he would accept that role.
Yeah.
I don't blame him for not, because he's done one hell of a job this season. Like, if he can get a head coaching job somewhere else, why would he not, right?
True. Yeah. But I think, because like you said, he already has a good rapport with all the players. Like, I see the players, how they are, the videos, the photos.
They like him. They really like him.
Yeah, they do. They do like him. But yeah,
it's a hard situation. It's the definition of a double-edged sword. We're really scared to make a mistake, and I don't blame upper management for being confused and not sure. Like, I get, like, Radnick is too good to pass, and it is true. But at the same time, it's like you don't want to break something up that's working really well. Now, is it just the mystique right now, with Ibra? And let's say Ibra leaves, and then, like, we go back to square one next year, and, like, and then all of a sudden Pioli just starts doing bad. That's another thing too, right? Like, are we just in a really good run of form, but in reality we really need a change like Radnick? We don't know. Unfortunately, these are the answers we just don't have.
So do you think losing Maldini will be worse, or losing Pioli?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
That's a very good question. So guys who are listening, what if you guys had to choose one to stay? Is it Pioli as a coach or Maldini as a technical director with Radnick? Put in the comments here. That's a really good question.
Like I said, because Maldini did such a great job bringing in the guys that we have. They made a big impact so far. And to get rid of them, like, it's going to hurt me, because I think Maldini knows what he's doing. It's just, I think the big problem is Gazidis. I'm not a big fan of the guy. And I think, to let go of basically the face of Milan, Maldini, is going to be a big, sign.
I feel more comfortable with Maldini here. Like, if it gives me more hope and, like, pleasure knowing that, like, like you said, the face of Milan is here. Like, it makes me feel better knowing that, hey, you know what? Our best legend essentially is, believes in the project that we're doing. It makes me feel good, right? To see him leave, whether we even do even better after he leaves, it's like that comfort level knowing that, hey, he's here and he's working, and it feels good. And, it's also good for our publicity as well around the world. Obviously, to these modern day kids, Milan is literally foreign to them, unfortunately. But, like, the people who do understand, seeing Maldini there in the crowd, in the stands, being talking around, like, it's just good for the Milan brand. You don't want, like, a bunch of, like, nobodies or, like, businessmen coming in. Like, sure, if they do the job, cool. But it's always good to have someone that represents you, that, they only have to get into, the Maldini family being related to Milan, all three or four generations type, right? I don't know. I just feel more comfort in him being there.
You're right, because when I, like, look in the stands and I see him, I just smile because it's Maldini,
Yeah, it feels good.
Ibra, I see Ibra, I'm like, I'm smiling because we grew up with those guys.
And we feel like you have a chance. You know what I mean? Like, when I see Ibra on the pitch and I see Maldini there, like, I feel like, okay, like, that's why I felt yesterday. We could beat Juve today. You see Maldini up there. You see Zlatan on the field. And, It's because of the old mystique of the team teams we used to have. Those guys were winners. Unfortunately, not knocking the guys we have now, but they're not proven winners yet. Hopefully one day they will be in a Milan kit. But the two guys in our entire club who were like proven winners who have actually done something is Maldini and Zlatan.
And they're both in the club.
Yeah. And, one plays and one's a manager, technical director. But the fact of the matter is, you need those kind of guys. You do. Especially on a growing team like Milan where, they clearly need a leader in a sense of direction. You pull up to training every time you see the aura of Maldini there. He's kind of your boss. Right? And you see Zlatan, proven guy who has insane mentality. And you're like, okay, I'm going to come to work today. I really want to get good. But when you don't have those guys around, guys slack off. And this is what we've seen over these years.
Yeah, exactly. Let's look at what Farid said. Maldini should stay. Then he needs to see what position he'll be offered. Yeah, that's true. Tough choice. I would say Maldini to stay in the management, plus German wouldn't want him to stay. I mean, Rangnick probably doesn't want I say Rangnick might want Maldini to stay.
Rangnick, he sees what's going on. I think he's impressed with Maldini and Pioli.
I don't know. I don't know enough about Rangnick, honestly.
I don't either. I'll be honest. I don't
know.
I feel like a lot of people on Twitter are fronting that they know a lot about him, and they'll post some clips of I'll be honest. I clearly he's a well-known name. I've seen bits and stuff pieces here, but I can't tell you I'm an expert on the guy.
Well,
I've seen him. I've watched some YouTube videos his tactics and how he's break down what he's done in his career and stuff like that. I just recently, the last couple of weeks. But aside from that, I don't know. I know he likes to deploy a 4-4-2 and he can deploy a 3-5-2 and 4-2-2-2. That. I know that's what he likes. That's all I basically know. But it's just tough because the Mercato. Do you focus on getting players for Rangnick or Pioli? What's going on here? We've had a history of our coaches not getting the players they want. So,
Luca, I'm not sure if you've seen yesterday, right after the game, Di Marzio came out saying that Tonali is close to Milan now.
Yeah, I saw that. So Milan are trying to hide.
Chuck Lee just commented about that too. Ironically, perfect.
Oh, there you go. There we go. Look at that. Did you see that?
Synchronization.
That was good. Say something about the. Honestly, man, Di Marzio said that. Isn't it hilarious that
it's so funny, man? I was just gonna say that too. It's hilarious.
If we lost to Juve, that wouldn't have been tweeted.
No, hell no. That would have been kept in the archives until if we beat Napoli. Oh, by the way, it's so annoying because that's the thing about it. You can follow all these reports and everything, and we always take it with a grain of salt. When we tweet something out about it's because we know it's confirmed or from reliable people. Yeah, I would rather not tweet constantly nonsense. I'd rather just give people who follow us something that's factual. But the thing is, it's so funny that Tonali's going to Inter. He was a Milan fan, and now he's completely going to Inter. Then all of a sudden we just beat Juve. Yeah, Milan are in the race for Tonali. It's actually really concrete. I'm it's so funny. And that's the funny thing is that could not even be true too. That could just been gas Milan fans up yesterday and put them on a real high.
It's he knows that all the Milan fans were online going crazy.
Well, yeah, of course they're not dumb. They know what they're doing.
What gets me upset was that before the Juve game, the day before, that all this news about Rangnick was happening. They do it purposely to just stir up things at Milan, to maybe affect the players.
Yeah, of course.
And which gets me upset because I feel like the media, I think you guys can agree that they're out there to get Milan.
Yeah.
And then right after, we beat Juve, and then he comes out with this saying Tonali is going to be coming to Milan, maybe more likely than Inter, which is great.
I've always said this, man. And the thing I think you guys can agree is this. I don't want to sound like a fairy tale story or I don't know what I'm talking about, but I feel like you guys can agree. The thing is, especially when I talk to you and Tina, because it's literally impossible.
It's delusional.
The thing is, you tell them that honestly, I don't even think the Juve team is that good, and right away they throw you because your team is better. Our team is not good. I have no problem admitting that. I have no problem admitting Milan is not a good team. It is a mid-table team. The players have. I got no problem admitting that. The fact of the matter is this. I personally feel in my bones that, we haven't been impressive. We haven't been impressive on the pitch, off the pitch, managerial-wise, upper management, all that.
No.
But I feel like Juve's window has passed to win the Champions League, and they're getting scared that whether an Inter or a Milan come back and overtake the league again. And that is why they will constantly shit on us, and they will constantly make things worse because they say, if Milan comes back, it's over.
It is, truly.
It is. Mike, I have to say he made the best point, and I agree with him with everything that you said, Mike, because honestly, that will happen because either Inter or Milan will win the Champions League before Juve, because as you can see, Juve is just going downhill. All right, we saw that 2015 Juve team was the best.
There's the best chance. That was their best chance.
That was their best chance. That team was legendary. I do have to admit it. But like you said, like I'm not afraid to admit, like we're an average team. We're nothing special. It's been miserable being a Milan fan the past 8-9 years, and it's just we have to admit it. And we come, we'll have discussions with Juve fans, and they make it seem like we're not like Milan. I'm like, we're still Milan. We're just in the process of building.
Well, I mean, we have way too many projects. That's kind of been pissing me.
Our club as a whole is legendary and is one of the best ever. Our current team is not good. And that's what they get confused with. Oh, you guys always go in the past. And that's the funny thing about it is, if I have to go in the past, no problem. The funny thing is they're like, oh, yeah, Champions League, whatever. You guys have more than us. When did the last time you won one? We won one in 2007. Last time Juve won was 1996. We weren't even born. So, I can't stand having to argue with them. It's like, oh, you guys live in the past. We live in the future. Like, they're paying $300 million for Ronaldo to not even win the Coppa Italia. And the league, they'll probably end up winning it. But no Champions League, no Coppa Italia. If anything, you were winning more without Ronaldo.
But like you said, Mike, I feel like once we get back up to Champions League level, we're going to show the world that we're the best Italian team. Like, the world's been waiting for us to come back. And Juve is going to be afraid that Milan's going to actually potentially maybe win a Champions League in the next 10 years if this project from Magnac actually becomes something great.
No, we won't be able to compete with them for a bit because it's a lot of money laundering. Think about all the young prospects in Serie A. You've already signed them; they're on loan to other clubs. It's kind of like.
But the thing is, though, at the same time, here's the thing. I hate Juve with my life. Yeah. But one thing I'll always give them credit for, and there's probably complications of all that too, but I'll give them credit. I won't be salty about it. The one thing why they always do well in the league is because they basically have two teams. They have an A team and a B team. That is all part of their team. Not their Primavera team. They literally have a deep bench that if you literally took their bench and their reserves and put it into a team, it would probably finish top 12 in Serie A on its own. Probably. I'm talking Higuain guys, all their bench guys.
Yeah. Even like Higuain, Bradeschi.
Yeah, and that's the credit I will always give to you. This is why you seeing a Lazio choke the SPAL yesterday. Lecce is because they don't have a deep team. Against us, they start throwing out random subs, and it doesn't work. That's also Milan's problem. After 2 or 3 subs, we literally have no one. We have a bunch of Primavera guys.
Yeah, and that's the 5 subs actually scares me because we don't have 5 good subs.
We don't have 5 subs that are good enough quality to come in.
Yeah, I think 3 subs okay for us, with 5.
Yeah. And again, just to wrap up my point, Milan is no better. Milan has not – the money they spent with Mirabelli and Fasone was not spent properly. Here and there, some guys were good. The fact of the matter is this. When Juve were in 2015, in that Champions League run, you had the guys like Vidal, Pirlo was still playing. Pogba was doing really well. They had a really concrete team. I think Dani Alves was there as well at that time. Really concrete team. Honestly, that team was fearful. Where the beef with Juve fans after and the comparison to us is your team, especially their midfield, has gone progressively worse. And that's the thing they don't want to understand. I get it's better than ours. I have no problem admitting that. But as you see yesterday, just because names you got Aaron Ramsey, Kadir, Rabiot, whatever, he scored a goal.
They're good.
Their team isn't as impressive. It's good enough for the league because the Serie A isn't as good as it used to be. Sure, Atalanta did well. Lazio are contenders.
I think Lazio and Inter actually choked them more than Juve won it this year.
Oh, 100%. But that's the issue when Juve go to the Champions League after is they can have a deep team, but the problem is they didn't get better from 2015. They weren't able to replace Vidal. They weren't really able. Okay, they got Ronaldo, fine, and Dybala has been more of a thing. But other than that, Mike, what can you tell me have they improved on?
No, they haven't. Well, they've gone downhill since. But I think what Juve is doing now is becoming more like a franchise than an actual team.
It's a very good point. They're more focused on the brand.
Yes, they're all for branding, franchising, making that money, bringing the money in. I think they'd rather make money than actually win trophies at this point.
Because they know they got the Serie A locked up and they'll win the Coppa Italia, maybe the Supercoppa.
Yeah.
But I feel like it kills them inside. And that's what makes me happy. It kills them inside knowing that they haven't won the Champions League these last few years.
Look at Shuff lead us from Marquisio, Vidal, Pogba, the Matuidi, Pjanic, Rabiot.
Thank you. That's exactly my point.
Yeah.
That's exactly my point.
Like Milan, look at me, like, I don't know, like, obviously.
Now, we're no better, eh? We're no better.
Obviously, we made badly and the money wasn't spent properly. Obviously, a couple players were good purchases. Like, I still think the Kessie purchase was a good purchase at the time. I feel like it wasn't a bad purchase. I think Hakan wasn't a bad purchase. I honestly think Andre Silva wasn't a bad. It didn't work out as well, but wasn't. I don't think it was a bad.
If it's getting us Rebic, then I'm fine with it.
That's what. Well, they said that the Milan News said that they have an exclusive that both teams are in kind of a agreement that they're both worth the same, and they're just going to do a straight swap, which would work for both parties. Andre Silva is doing well there. Rebic is great here, and how old is Rebic? He's not old, right? How old is he?
He's probably in his prime.
He is 26. What's Andre Silva?
No, he's younger.
He's younger. 23?
He's 24.
24. All right.
2 years younger. Yeah, but Rebic is like Rebic still has 4 or 5 good years left still, at least. Actually, to be fair, I don't put an age number. I feel like a player can do well after 30. You see players get actually better after that when they're 30 years old. So, I'm not even going to say that. But yeah, so Farid said that the German want to stay in control, want to manage all, but maybe keep Pioli to coach, but rest behind. Yeah, if Pioli were to stay, Farid, it would be Pioli coaching, and Rangnick would take care of everything else. He'd even take care of who cuts the grass. I think
he's got ultimate control. He's got the keys to Milanello too.
Literally, he has the key to Milano in general. The only thing is though, I don't know. This guy doesn't speak Italian. How is this gonna work?
I don't know, man. I think our fear as Milan fans is just constantly starting over every 2 years, new project, and that's what's annoying is you always got to give fair chance to the new guys coming in because they haven't done anything wrong. You can't shit on Ragnick already because he hasn't done anything yet. You have to give him the fair chance. The problem is we're so tired of trusting people and they haven't done anything. So that's kind of why, the fear of starting over again is in place because we've seen it so many times and it's failed. And, that's not fair to him. But, as Milan fans, you're getting used to this over 6 years. Enough's enough eventually. You just want to see it finally work. So I hope he's able to do it. But at the end of the day, it wasn't officially confirmed yesterday by DiMaggio, but, it obviously looks like it's heading in that direction. They're definitely being respectful to Pioli to, wait till the end of the season to make anything official, which I'm happy that they're doing. But, yeah, I don't know. We're going to find out at the end of the season what goes on here. At the end of the day, I don't think anyone really knows right now, apart from
me either. I don't think so. I think it's all kind of up in the air, and it's tough because you just Pioli's done an amazing job of keeping it. And the players love Pioli, and obviously the squad is very united. The way they play football is they're playing beautifully, and I'm happy. It's nice to see. I'm starting to get excited for I don't want to get too excited, but I don't want to get let down. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so this Shuffley said could be the reason he insists on Hakan staying. The guy is literally going to be a translator. It's actually true because do we have any? Actually, no. I think Rebic might speak a bit German too. That's about it. Literally,
yeah.
I think Rebic speaks Italian as well because he played. For
I'll be honest, man. Just to transition out of it, I think when after the SPAL game, we're okay, we have Lazio, Juve, and Napoli. And the thing is, I kind of had the Juve game written off, so I was okay, whatever. But obviously now we won. Still, from a week ago, I still feel like Napoli's our hardest task.
It is.
I don't know. I think it's because Gattuso and the form they've been on, playing there. I know obviously there's no fans, but regardless, I don't know why I feel like that's gonna be that game could end up a tie or obviously I want us to win, but it's also because I feel like we're not used to us being in a big run of form, so we're kind of okay, well, this is eventually gonna have to run out at some point. Right?
Honestly, I would take a draw at the San Paulo any day of the week. I'll take it. Like I don't care.
Yeah, Napoli's been in great form. So
if you're trying to fight for fifth, I think Napoli is the biggest opponent. Like we need.
It'd be nice if Roma can drop the points today. That'd be nice.
Yeah, they're on a downfall.
If they Parma today,
and everybody.
And Napoli play Genoa away. Like it's not. It could be tricky for them. Like Genoa's tricky because.
Well, like Mike said, like those teams are going to fight.
They're fighting for something.
Yeah.
Genoa wins today. They're out of relegation.
Well, because with Lecce's win yesterday, they're above the relegation zone right now.
Yeah.
Look at Genoa. They literally have to secure the points to get.
Big games today. Big games today.
Well, against Napoli, guys, Gattuso knows us so well, and that's the thing that scares me the most. And I don't know. I feel like Napoli is going to be the toughest opponent ever going to have, and that's why, honestly, I think if we do win, it's going to be a 1-0 win.
Maybe
that's what I'm thinking.
I agree. It won't be anything like 4-2 comeback or whatever. I completely agree. It'll definitely be a very tactical defensive style match that's going to go back and forth, and then whoever can be fortunate enough to pull it out. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that game ends in a tie. Honestly.
Yeah, we have a couple of big matches. We have 2 in a row at home. Parma and Bologna. It has to be 6 points. It really does.
Has to be. It literally has to be.
Has to be 6 points. And man, honestly, we come 5th or 6th this season. I'm happy. Hilariously enough, we come 7th and Napoli's in the top 6. We still get Europa League, but
it's just to avoid the qualifiers.
The goal is avoid the qualifiers. The goal is the qualifiers would be different. I think it'll only be 1 game this time around.
Just still, give the guys a break, whatever. If we were just automatic qualification.
Yeah. I don't know.
We have to do predictions for Sunday.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We'll do predictions. We've been doing predictions, and that's kind of fun. For the guys listening still, put in the chat your prediction as well. We'll show it on the screen. So I'll go 1-1 at Napoli. I'll say that 1-1. Goal from I'll say Rebic scores again. Because that guy just scores every game. Even if he's not playing that well, he just scores.
True.
I say 1-1. Zlatan scores first, and then Mertens scores later on in the game.
Mertens always scores against us.
I know that's why.
I'm gonna go with 1-0. I'll have I'll have Zlatan score 1-0.
Nice. Okay, so guys, we have a couple listeners right now. Put in the chat your prediction. I'll put it on the screen. You say the score and the goal score, the score and the goal scorer on either side, doesn't matter. And then after the Napoli game, we got Parma, and then we have Bologna after that. So these are tough matches. So Farid says Milan 2-1, Napoli, Rebic and Hakan.
All right, nice.
So we must have a newer listener here, EP. Any thoughts on Pioli? So EP, we already chatted about this 10, 15 minutes ago. We were chatting about the whole Pioli, and we said that he definitely he deserves it with the run of form and the results he's gotten here. It's kind of a tough situation, but you can rewatch this podcast. It's on YouTube. It's on Apple Podcasts, on Google Play. So after we're done, around the 35-minute mark, we talk about Pioli. So that's to answer your question. Shaf Lee says 2-2, Zlatan, Rebic, and Sine Fabian. And Farid said that the second half is going to have all the goals.
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
I still think it's going to be a tactical game. It's going to be tight. We'll be lucky to score a goal, but it's going to be a really good game, I have to say. Sunday's going to be good, guys.
I think so. I mean, I know it'd be nice if we can get a result. Then this team's really going to make us dream again. Literally,
the teams that have been, I think, coming from this break is Milan, Atalanta, and Napoli have been the teams on fire.
Yeah, Atalanta. Honestly, Atalanta for me has been the best team in Serie A this season. I'm going to be honest with you, because it's actually kind of sad. They dropped some points, silly points to, I think, SPAL and a couple other teams, Fiorentina, I think. They dropped some points earlier in the season. If they didn't drop those points, they'd literally be fighting for the Scudetto right now. But yeah, I
That's a
got.
good point. Though,
We'll be aware that Milan will be on fire. Plus, now we'll be easier, no crowd, so it's our advantage. To be honest, anytime you're playing away, the away team has the advantage with no fans. There's no home. Like the fans usually are a big
to push you on. Yeah, no.
Exactly. So there's no fans, so it's kind of like a fair game. Like it's literally team versus team, and who can play better and who can score the goals. But it's nice. I think the team is basically fit. Like Hakan could probably start. I mean,
and we don't play till Sunday, so they've gone a few days of rest, which is beneficial for us.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday to rest up, and then we play Sunday, and then we play Wednesday. Yeah, Sunday, Wednesday after that. So it's tight, right? Like the schedule's tight. But you know what? We can't complain. Every team's schedule's tight, you know.
Of course, yeah.
Well, but you know what? It's fun. I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually love these games every 3
I love it.
I love it.
I think it's also because we're in good form, right? So if we were losing, it'd kind of be annoying. But
but it's nice to see. It's nice to get during the regular season, the regular time frame, we have to wait every week to see us play, right? Like every time a week. But now it's like, you know what? No problem. Let's get it back in 2 or 3 days, which is nice. Yeah, we can probably wrap this up. Any other comments or thoughts? You know what? We can talk about something quick if you guys want. Up to you guys. I usually trigger the question, so you guys.
Questions from the listeners. Feel free to say anything.
Yeah. Hey guys, you guys want a question or something? You guys have a question? Put it in the chat now. We'll answer it quick in the next 5-6 minutes and wrap it up. So just put it in the chat now. Farid says that if Kessie and Benacer need a break the next few days, and they need a break before Napoli. Yeah, like obviously I don't trust anybody else in that.
Yeah, they've been going strong. I even think about it, like when I was watching, I was just like, these two don't come off.
They don't, and I have to say though, Kessie's stamina and Benacer's phenomenal. Like those guys, they can pull a full 90 minutes and play games every 3-4 days.
Yeah,
they're more than capable of doing it. And
I think the only replacement will be Krunic and Bilia, but
no one wants to see Bilia play. So I think Pioli is going to stick with those guys for sure.
Yeah,
I think Krunic is a decent sub. Krunic is actually a good sign. He's a cheap sign. He's a good guy to come off from the bench. Or
if you'd have to, you stick Bonaventura in the midfield.
Yeah, or Hakan maybe. I don't know. So Farid has one question for us. How do you see? How do you? I guess he's asking what do you think of Salamaker's performance? Like, what do you think so far?
Honestly, when we signed him, I'm like, I don't know who the hell Salad Maker is, but I'm like, okay, I'll trust our Moncada in the scouting area, and he's been pretty good. Like he's fair play to him. He's integrated to the squad pretty well. He's giving Castillo a break. I picked up that little injury, but he hasn't been bad at all. I really like him. Definitely someone to redeem.
I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure when Castillo. They say it might be a week or two away. Castillo still. I'm not sure. It depends. He's been great for us too. Ever since Suso left, he's really filled the void.
I just wanted to mention too, guys. Since Suso left, you notice the team just plays a lot better. And I
wonder why, because Suso's shit.
Yes, Mike, 100%. I agree because
it's so overrated.
So one way going forward, and it was so predictable.
Thank you. He's the biggest B-Tech Robin. He'll run down the wing, cut in, and don't get me wrong. When it works, it's cool. Obviously he'll score. But the thing is, in the city, it's such a defensive league, and they understand it that they had him figured out right away. And every team would just put a guy on him, and he's not because he doesn't track back. At least Castillo tracks back. And he has really good work ethic. The second Suso goes to the final third and loses the ball, that's it. He's not coming back.
He doesn't come back, and that's the problem. I always said, his defending is awful. It doesn't work hard enough. All right, he's predictable. His crossing, some games they're great, some games they're just awful, and he has no pace at all. I'm like, we need a new change. We need.
So about Suso, Sevilla is 6 points up in the Champions League race in La Liga, so it looks like we're gonna get 25 milioni.
Rocco's always tweeting about that. It's keeping us updated.
Imagine getting 25 million. That's great. Honestly, that's literally plus Valencia to the max. We signed him for 500K. Galliani. So, Sevilla is 6 points on Villarreal with 4 games left. So it's literally their spot to lose, essentially.
Yeah, that's very true.
And Suso hasn't really played. They're probably regretting it because Suso hasn't really hasn't played that much. Like he's not like actually he's a star there. Lucas Ocampos. He was
the new keeper.
He was one for us.
Yeah, he made a nice save to I think win it for them.
Lucas Ocampos has 13 goals this year. Like he was so bad for us. Why is he so good now?
13 goals and 1 save.
Oh yeah, did you see the penalty?
He was no. Or
did he go in? Or did he go in net and make a save?
No, he was in net and then he made a save.
I don't remember that. When was it? Was that recently?
That's a really good point by Freddy, talking about how Sousa was kind of like El Shaarawy, very predictable. It's a really good point.
Yeah, like Sousa, obviously, when he was here, he made us dream again because he scored some beautiful goals and whatever, and he was Mr. Assist. But obviously, you have to move on at some points, and yeah. Okay, so I think it's gonna wrap up our show for episode 24. Honestly, like again, thanks to the listeners for putting in the chat. We love the chat's great to talk and stuff like that, and yeah, like honestly, subscribe to us on YouTube, drop us a like, subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and stuff. If I hear that ring one more time,
yes.
Yeah, honestly, guys, it's fun. It's fun. It's especially fun when we're winning games. But I mean, if we start losing, these podcasts might get heated. So
yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay, guys, thanks for listening. Subscribe to us, like our things, follow us on Twitter.
Thank you, guys.
Forza Milan.
Always.
We're going weekly. Oh my God! If I hear this beat one more time, what's going on over here?
What's going on, guys? I'm gonna fix it. Don't worry.
This guy has his agent. It is his agent talking to him. It must be his agent through the podcast.
Di Maurizio right now. We're talking.
Okay, so guys, we're trying every week podcast. So midweek. So we'll see you next week. And Forza Milan. Ciao, guys. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.